Aloha my kako and welcome back to another book review. I am Mama Kitty and today we are going to be reviewing Pride by Samantha Ryan. I'm very excited to share this one with you guys. I adored it. The Goodreads synopsis is as follows. Ben Bennett treasures the cozy rhythm of running his beloved bookstore, curling up with his sassy cat Ziggy and putting up with his spirited sister Mal. He's not exactly searching for love, despite the occasional swipe on Grindr, and he's definitely not interested in anyone messing with his hard-won peace, even if he could use an extra set of hands around the shop. But everything changes the moment he crosses paths with Avery Fitzgerald. Mal's new boyfriend's infuriatingly handsome, ridiculously wealthy friend. Avery is a business developer with a knack for getting under Ben's skin, and when he buys the building next door, Ben's world starts to unravel in ways he never expected. As much as Ben tries to resist, Avery keeps finding new ways to weave himself into Ben's life, challenging everything he thought he knew about love, business, and himself. In this modern, queer twist on Pride and Prejudice, sparks fly and hearts collide in a story that's as cozy as it is unpredictable. A perfect exploration of love in a world that doesn't always make room for it. So, of course, this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, right? Which was definitely the main reason I wanted to read it because Pride and Prejudice is like my favorite book ever. Uh, Mr. Darcy for the win. And the other reason was because it was gay, like super gay. Like the gay panic was out of this world, kind of gay. It was great. It was a 10 out of 10. So let's start with Ben Bennett. He was just the most precious cinnamon roll baby, and I adored him. He's so soft and he's so sweet. And while I was reading, I definitely felt a little bit jealous of his sister because who doesn't want a brother like that, right? He was kind of always giving, always there for you. And like, okay, he definitely had some issues, especially regarding like his mother and dealing with Avery and all of that. But I just kind of think overall that made him a really nice, like, well-rounded character, right? He wasn't a cardboard cutout of a character, right? He had depth and he he was just a very enjoyable character, and I loved him as a protagonist. I think Elizabeth and Jane Austen would have approved. On the other hand, there was Avery, and he was hot, like Mr. Darcy hot. And I mean, as he should be, right? He is this version's Mr. Darcy. Uh, I mean, and of course, I liked him because when, he challenged Ben, right? And forced Ben to sort of look around him, but he was never forceful with Ben, right? And they danced around each other a lot in the beginning, which is fair because Ben thought that he was straight, and Avery was definitely in the closet, which is very clear from the beginning. But he's got to do what he's got to do, I guess. And it's one of those things where it's just like, of course they're going to be dancing around each other when they have crushes on each other, but they don't know if they're the correct sexual orientation. Mal was adorable. I adored her. Beck was also really cute, very, very sweet with Mal. I really like how he treated her. I was, however, just a smidge miffed that Avery was not the reason they broke up. But I guess, thinking about it some more, I guess in this time and space, it wouldn't necessarily have been very realistic. So I do acknowledge that, but I still wish Avery had had a little bit more uh of a hand in them breaking up. I did, however, like the circumstances around Ben and Avery's temporary breakup. Like, I thought it was very unique. I thought it was very juicy, and like there were clues given from all over the place. And anybody who has seen or read or listened to any iteration of Pride and Prejudice knows, like, just knows. They would have picked up on the clues immediately, and I definitely think I did so. I also thought it was a really clever way of creating discourse with Avery and Ben without Avery, excuse me, having to be like a massive dickhead like Mr. Darcy was in the beginning. Although I know we all love that part of him, at least a little bit. Another interesting character who got a little bit of a rework was Mrs. Bennet. Right, if you're familiar with Pride and Prejudice, she's just kind of very dramatic and over the top and all of that. And in this, she was a little bit of that, but she was really homophobic. And while I'm not sure if I liked that trait, it was an interesting opportunity that the author created so that Avery could step in and sort of protect his like not yet boyfriend. What I did like about the change though is that people didn't like her because she sucked versus in the original, right? She's disliked because she's loud and dramatic and a diva queen who just really wants her daughters to marry well. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna be a very short review because I really have nothing but good things to say about it. It's exactly what I wanted. Walking into it, I was pleasantly surprised by the small and the big changes that were made. I think my favorite thing though was that Ben owns a bookstore, right? I think Elizabeth and Jane Austen would have approved, and I think Elizabeth would have lost her goddamn mind. But I just kind of like booky people, so I immediately was like, oh yeah, I would be best friends with Ben. I'm going to give this a very solid 5 out of 5 stars. Like, again, if you know me, then you know that Pride and Prejudice is probably my favorite book ever. And so a queer retelling of it, there's no way it's not going to be good. You know what I mean? So if you like Pride and Prejudice, any iteration of it, and you like LGBTQIA romance novels, this is for you, I promise. The next book we're going to be reviewing is The Dilemmas of Working Women by Fumio Yamamoto. These book reviews are going to come out a little bit fast this week because I'm behind on my arcs. So I'm trying to beat the publication date of the arc I'm reading right now, and I need to kind of steamroll through some of these reviews. But you will be getting this review, the next review. It'll be really interesting because it's a collection of short stories of women in Japan. And so it's been translated, and there are some cultural differences, and I think that they're really interesting. So we'll kind of explore that together when I get that going. I honestly was really excited about it, and I did end up really liking it. But again, we'll talk about that more later this week, I guess. So thank you all for coming. That's it. That's the review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, right? Turn on the notification bell so that you know when the next video comes out. Little bit of selfish advertisement. mamakitty.com is alive. We have our lovely little website going. I will link it in the description below because I make stickers, I make subscription badges. I am going to start selling eyelash lays. So if you have a graduation coming up or something like that, let me know. Yeah, I'll just thank you for coming. I hope you read the book. If you do read the book, let me know in the comments so that I can like discuss this with people because no one around me has read it yet, and I have no one to talk to about the beautifulness of this book. So if you read it, let me know so we can have a chat. Other than that, I will see you all on the next video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you later. Bye!